Yeah, hit it.
And welcome to the Mike and Brad Show. We are at a new location of Brood Awakenings. We are in Cranston, Rhode Island.
Studio B here on Pontiac Ave. Yeah.
Studio B.
There's Studio A is under serious construction right now.
Yeah, so how do we look? Do you like the scenery? Well, give us the feedback. We got
It's romantic.
A fake fireplace behind us. And
Oh, this fireplace is very real because I'm sweating. I'm sweating my ass off right now.
yeah, and we interrupted somebody getting some real business done, not like us.
Yeah,
We're
so
just
in Warwick,
fooling around, this guy's over here making money.
I know this poor guy actually has a job. He's right.
Yeah, it's
So
his
so
job.
in Warwick, the Warwick
Like,
group.
I'm trying to focus over here on making my next million, and these goobies are making a stupid video with an iPhone.
Studio A over in Warwick, we have our own private room, but our friend Nick, who's been a guest producer on the show, has said that room echoes. So I said, why don't we try Studio B in front of the
Why,
fireplace?
this is not an echo chamber?
Oh, it absolutely is. The ceiling is 400 feet high, actually. Yes, this would be good for a Broadway musical, actually.
So this could be one and done, or it could be our future home.
Who knows?
Time
Endless
will tell.
possibilities. Time will tell. Welcome back, though, to the Mike and Brad Show. It's been a while.
Wow.
Several months.
Because we've been busy.
We're very busy, important people.
Yes. I actually had somebody ask me, like, because I was like helping my friends the other day, and she noticed that I was always on the phone with you, and she just came out and said, "Does Brad work?" I'm like,
You're
no.
like, what do you
We've
mean
talked
by...
about this. What do you mean by work?
Yeah, be more specific.
Describe work. Define work. If you open the dictionary to work, Brad's picture will not be there.
Yeah, I wouldn't Google hardworking man. You're not going to find Brad
So I
Pierce.
just told her, I said, just call his wife and ask her that question.
She would laugh for a half hour straight if you asked her, hey, does your husband work?
Yeah. Well, they split all the duties, I'm sure. Brad just pays the phone bill.
Yeah, I wash the dishes. That's what I contribute.
And you don't even do that good.
And I have to reach stuff like this
You
morning.
read stuff. That's what you do.
She called me this morning. She said, "Stop, can you get the crock pot down? Because it's our highest shelf."
And you felt like a rock star,
like,
didn't you?
let
Did you
me
feel
see what I
like
could do.
Superman?
Let me see what I can do
You were
for you.
like Stan Lee should make a movie about you, right?
Tall man.
Tall man. Tall man.
What's his superpower? He can get stuff on the high shelf.
You should add that to your thing because he does your whole superpower thing.
Oh, that's not a
There you
bad
go.
idea.
I'm an idea man.
I know. So far, I've been saying I'm GERD man because I have gastroesophageal reflux disease. That's fun to
Too
say.
much of a mouthful.
It is. It's too much of a stomach full, actually.
Yeah.
I'm having a colonoscopy next week, as a matter of fact.
That's
That'll
awesome.
be fun.
I will be picking you up from that. You
Mike
already
is-
signed it up?
Mike is a true friend. He's going to pick me up. I'm going to be drugged up really bad.
Actually, I'll be in the room watching the procedure. It's been one of my dreams.
You should administrate her.
I'm the one that's going to be shaving your ass. I'll be like, back off. I got this. He loves how I do it. That's something my wife would say. Why don't you just do it? You do it all the time.
So that's coming up next week. Something to look forward to. You know what I mean?
It's nothing.
I've had
yeah,
it before.
yeah.
I do them periodically just for a good time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just to
And
have
then you
some
join
fun.
the ranks of millions and millions and millions of comedians doing a joke
Doing
about
hacky
it.
jokes about it. I won't do a hacky joke about it, I promise.
Thank you. Good.
This is all we're going to discuss. Only on the Mike and Brad Show do we discuss colonoscopies.
Yes. Well, let me tell you about my pap smear I had recently.
So, hey, let's just jump into the big story of the world right now. The Jurassic Park style extinct wolf. What do we want to? What's the regeneration?
Wolf, the dire wolf. Very, very interesting stuff.
Yeah.
They took some DNA out of some skeletal that supposedly it's like 13,000 years. It's been extinct.
It's a while.
And they took some. The closest relative was the gray wolf. They took some of that, and then they morphed it into, and now it's Mike Keller.
It is. It's our friend Mike Keller. He has wolf-like
Mike
tendencies.
Keller was brought back from extinction.
You think? Do you think this is real, or do you think they're just like, hey, let's breed a wolf and make a big news story about it?
No, it's real.
You think it's like,
real.
how do they explain? Because Mike is very educated in the field of science and zoology. Can you explain to us how they extract the DNA from the fossils?
Well, you can find DNA in anything. So if you got the skeleton, I'm sure there's bone marrow in there and there's blood in there. So they got it right from the blood of the skeleton. And then the closest relative of the dire wolf is the gray wolf. That's the biggest wolf. The dire wolf, I don't know if I think Game of Thrones used to feature one of them.
Yeah.
It's a big, this thing is like 6 feet long.
Yeah.
It's like, it's big. It's
You're a dog lover. Would you like to have one of those?
No, I don't like, I'm a dog lover because my wife's a dog lover.
I actually don't think Mike.
second I divorced
I can
that
tell
girl,
Mike
no
doesn't
more
like his
dogs.
dogs. His dogs bark 23 hours a day, I'd say.
And you would think I would love hearing barks after not hearing them forever. I take my ears off as soon as they stop barking.
Yeah,
And
that's not a bad
everybody in the
strategy.
house is jealous of me.
Oh, we should address the
do.
elephant in the room because we deal with this every single episode. Yes, Mike is deaf. You see these things? Those are not Snapple caps.
So
when
we're
he
looking
says he
forward
takes
to
his
your
ears,
YouTube comments.
when he says he takes his ears off, he takes those off and he can't hear anything. And then he has to read lips. We haven't done that in a while.
No.
Mike is an
well,
expert.
because I was batting 1,000.
You were. Maybe we should do one.
Not today. I'm
Yeah,
not up for it. It's the dire wolf's day.
Is there an animal that you would like to bring back from extinction? Now that we're getting it going, getting the ball rolling, with the bringing back extinct
No,
animals.
I think they should start doing it with people.
Who would you like to bring back?
Elvis.
Elvis and Bruce Lee.
Elvis and Bruce Lee in a fight.
Have them fight. Is Elvis did karate? Yeah.
Yes, I mean Elvis and Bruce Lee. That would be a great pay-per-view.
Imagine that UFC. How much that would sell?
Crazy.
Dana White would promote the
Crazy.
hell out of that. Bruce Lee versus Elvis
Yeah, and
this
then
summer.
Bruce Lee will be like, "Why has he got a guitar?" And then boom, next thing you know, he's hit him over the head and he's singing "Hound Dog" over him. It's over,
I
and
would like-
everybody feels ripped off again, like the Tyson fight.
I'd like to bring the saber-toothed tiger back. I think that would be cool.
Saber-tooth is cool.
That would be cool.
No joke. This is real. They're actually, because was a success. It's a real company that does this, and it's very Jurassic Park.
Are they hiring?
They're bringing back the woolly mammoth.
Oh, they are going to bring it back.
True story.
What are they going to do with that?
He's just gonna roam
Ride it
around.
around.
He's gonna be like a furry elephant with big tusks.
Let it loose in Cranston. He'll stop by the Thirsty
Imagine
Beaver.
that. Imagine that. You're at Whole Foods, and next thing you know, woolly mammoth comes crashing through the thing, trying to get at your lettuce from the salad bar.
So what's to keep from them doing dinosaurs? Jurassic Park's
Nothing.
going to be a real thing, I bet. That's going to be the next thing.
100%.
And then we're going to have to go live in Mars to escape the dinosaurs. They're going to retake over the Earth.
People will be bringing their old pets back to life.
If you
cloning
could
them.
have...
They actually do that. They clone pets now. So that way you have another one right after that one dies. So the next, like Rocky 2 comes out.
That's crazy.
That's a real thing, and I'm not even making that up.
Now I'm
people
going to
are signing up
have
for
even
that.
more cats now.
Now
I'm going to have 400 cats.
You're gonna have five shadows.
Her name was Storm.
Oh, Storm. Smokey, Shadow, Storm, same
It's
thing.
all the same. So if you could have, is there any kind of wild animal, extinct or otherwise, you would like to have as a pet?
Oh, that's a good question.
I ask good questions.
As a pet.
Yeah,
What
like any
would be
wild
cool
animal,
as a pet?
whether
Why
extinct
don't
or
we
not.
ask our studio audience, sir?
What animal would you like to have as a pet?
Exotic.
Yeah, like it could be any
exotic.
animal,
Not dogs and cats.
any animal. A black panther. That's a cool pet.
I would have guessed that.
That's a cool
We're not
pet.
going to show them on the camera.
Yeah.
So Black Panther now. How would you tame it? There's a guy that has a Black Panther. And I don't know if you watch the TikTok.
You're talking about the Black Panther with the Rottweiler?
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
Have you
follow,
seen that?
You follow that? Someone
Well-
has a pet Black Panther and a pet Rottweiler, and they're friends. They grew up since they were little cubs, and like they live together as
The
like.
first time
yeah.
you watch that video, you
It's
think
so
it's
cool.
fake or
Oh,
whatever.
it's real.
But then
Yeah.
you start watching it, and the guy grew them up together, and they'll be walking through the woods, and the panther would be hiding, and the dog would come around, and the panther would jump out. The panther's like twice the size
It's
of the
huge,
Rottweiler.
and they wrestle, and they're like buddies.
They're
yeah.
buddies.
Since they were like this big.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
at the end of our
It's crazy.
podcast, if you're still working on your next million, we'll give you the link, and you'll get to see a real live Black
Pet panther.
domesticated.
Yeah, it's true. It's pretty cool. I love it.
It is pretty cool.
I would like
And speaking of Black Panther, you named your cat after
Wakanda.
There
Yeah,
you
but
go.
she's not a panther. She's this big. I have a cat named Wakanda, but she's not a panther.
Yeah, she's not a panther.
She's a
and-
normal cat
And
size.
it's not only a normal cat size, Brad carries her around in a backpack and a stroller. So it's far from a superhero.
No, she is not a superhero. I have, but I would like a cheetah and a penguin to pet.
Penguin sounds cool.
I'd have to keep them in separate rooms, obviously,
Yeah,
but separate sides of the house. But a penguin would be cool, just like
Penguin
walking
would
around
be
your house.
absolutely awesome. Just like, yeah.
Walking around.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, no?
Yeah, especially if you could teach them to talk. Have them do your jokes.
you like
Any
living-
married people in the crowd tonight? Yo, a little penguin.
I'd give him a little bow tie.
Not a little bold. That's what I was just gonna say. Make little clothes for them.
Yeah.
But you like a real tuxedo. What would you name your penguin? Any ideas?
Mike Murray. So I've been dying to tell you this story since it's been a while since the last Mike and Brad show, right? So if you remember from a previous episode, we told a very dramatic real life story of how my brother called me at 1 a.m. on Christmas night because he was losing his mind because him and my sister-in-law had just spotted a giant drone, huge drone.
Yeah.
And he's freaking out and he thinks we're being attacked or invaded by aliens. And
He was the only guy in Rhode Island that said he saw it too, by the way. Just saying.
yeah, so I told you the story. You asked how big. They said like the size of a Buick or whatever. And it was a whole big segment on the Mike and Brad show. Well, recently I got another phone call from my brother, drone-related call. And he goes, hey, I got to tell you something. It's a little embarrassing.
So let's go on a podcast and talk about it to all 12 of our followers.
He goes,
You didn't tell me this yet, did you?
No.
All right, good.
He goes, so I'm driving that same route of the night I saw the drone.
This guy, I swear to God, he's Area 51 all by himself.
No, hold on. He goes, and I look over, and I saw an airplane, because this is during the day now, during the day. If you remember, that was Christmas night at 1 a.m. Now it's afternoon. And he goes, I got to tell you, it looked like the airplane was hovering because the way it was moving so slow in perspective. And I realized, oh, that looks just like what I saw when I saw the drone at 1 a.m. So all that crazy conspiracy theory, and he debunked his own conspiracy. Yeah. He realized it was just a plane. After months of us talking about it on the Mike and Brad show, that my brother had seen a real-life giant secret drone from the government or whatever.
Well, now that you bring it up, I have to tell you, your brother actually called me one night, freaked out, and got his whole family up, and they were just ready to, leave town. He was scared to death because he saw something bright in the sky, and I said, Jeff, that's the moon. It's there every night.
Describe it. It's round.
He said it was he said it's hovering. It's really not moving.
So true story. From months he was freaked out by a giant drone and then realized after all that it was an airplane. He goes, well, it looked like it was moving slow. I'm like, Jeff, do you know about like perspective of space and yes, airplanes
clearly doesn't have that.
Like you understand, like an airplane, even when it's far away, it doesn't seem like it's moving as fast.
I see a lot of them when I pass the airport.
I said, yeah, where is this in relation to TF Green Airport? That's kind of relevant to the story.
Unbelievable.
So, good news, everybody. Rhode Island is not being invaded by space aliens. You can rest easy. My brother's just out of his mind. That's what we learned today. I've been very nostalgic lately because I recently watched the Tom Green documentary.
Speaking of which, I've been trying to remind myself when he called, Jackass stole his idea.
Well,
the whole thing.
We're gonna get so sidetracked. I wouldn't say that because Jackass came from an original group of videos called CKY where they were doing a bunch of crazy stuff.
Before Tom Green?
Very similar time frame. So I don't, but
yeah.
I will say all this. So the documentary It was about the Tom Green show, which was a big thing back in the day, and it inspired me to do a public access show called The Golden Mic. And I've been nostalgic thinking about my youth.
Your whole act, the whole Golden Mic was very, very Tom Greenish.
Mm-hmm. He was my inspiration. I'd walk around. I saw, he walks around with a microphone. That looks fun. So I started doing that. I met my wife interviewing her at her college. I would just walk around filming. And I've been thinking back. So actually, right before I got here, I was editing an old clip where we brought eggnog to the beach.
Love eggnog. To the beach, though.
To the beach, yeah. So what happened was I was
middle of summer.
It was in the
selling it?
It was in the 90s. So here's what happened. My friend John that worked on the show with me, one night we're on the phone. He goes, "Hey, you know, I was at the Dominican market up the street from my house the other day. This was like August, and he's like, they sell eggnog year round." And I'm like, wouldn't it be funny if we brought it to the beach? So I will post that video. I re-edited it today because I've been nostalgic. I've been thinking back to the old days because I did the old public access show. And the Tom Green show inspired me to do a public access show, which got me into comedy. And maybe without Tom Green, there'd be no Mike and Brad show. So thank you, Tom Green.
Instead of crunching numbers and making your next million like our good friend.
Instead of getting a job.
You are doing hot takes on eggnog and the beach.
So speaking of our comedy careers that have been jump-started from my old world of public access, Mike and I are doing a comedy show at the Loom Hotel in Warwick this Sunday with Mark Anthony Lewis. Doors open 6, show 7 o'clock. Please check that out.
I'm not a fan of that guy, though, bro. Not a fan.
Mike will fight. Mike and Mark will have a fight, or at least an arm wrestling. Do you think you could beat him in an arm wrestling match?
I could take him. He may be tall.
You think you could beat him in arm wrestling?
I can beat him in anything.
Definitely sumo. But they will. Mark, they will both be there. I will be there. We're gonna have a good time. Come check out that show, and maybe one lucky winner in the audience who could share a hotel room with Mike afterwards if you play your cards right.
They're gonna comp our rooms.
Yeah, I live 6 minutes from that hotel. I don't think I need a room.
I think that hotel is overrun by homeless. No joke.
That's great promotion for the show. We don't. You realize this is what Mike does. He forgets that there's no editing on this show, so he'll say something like that, thinking, Brad will just edit that out. I can't edit it out. There's no editing. So you just. That's not. There's no. I assure you, it's a very, very nice hotel. I think he's thinking of Motel 6. The show is not at Motel 6. Do you remember the motel? I used to work at the Courtyard Marriott in Warwick, and right in front of us was the Motel 6.
When you had a job.
Yeah, that was the last job I had. It was many, many years ago. When's the last time you had a job?
They hated you, too.
Yeah, they did. But we worked right behind the Motel 6, so it was fun. So you could, because I worked third shift, so all night you would just see the cops going into Motel 6 and then like the ambulance and cleaning the dead bodies.
Was you at the one at Jefferson Boulevard?
Yes.
Oh.
It was behind the Bugaboo Creek at the time. So my last job was, I don't know, over 15 years ago maybe. What was your last job?
Oof.
It's hard to remember, huh?
It is hard. Oh, it was just before I started doing comedy. I was doing property management and stuff like that.
That was the last one?
I had a big cleaning business, yep.
How many years ago would you say that?
15 years ago.
That's about how long it's been for me. So just a couple guys, you know what I mean? Unemployed, so if you're looking to hire us.
Biopic. This will make a great biopic.
Imagine if we have to do like a resume. If we had to apply for a job, they ask for your job history.
They'll be like, so what have you been doing the last 15 years? I see a gap. And then we're like, oh, making videos? What kind of videos? Well,
are you familiar with the Mike and Brad show, perhaps? Yeah, we see a 15-year gap
on the resume. Just put a link to the Golden Mike Productions. How funny would that be?
So we're running out of time here. We're flying right through.
I know.
I asked my friend Justin what we should talk about today, and he said cigarettes. And I was like, what do you mean by that? So I think I'm assuming he's implying because it seems like you see less and less cigarettes because now everybody's smoking the vapes. Yeah. Like they look like a little thumb drive. And I've never liked cigarettes. I find the smell very disgusting. But I almost have a newfound respect for cigarettes after all the vapes.
The cigarettes are now limited to people who that are more on the edge, I guess.
Yeah.
They're about to kill you. And
Yeah.
they go outside to take that cigarette. Like
They
I
tend to
gotta
have
a
a
cigarette.
raspy voice, even the
'cause,
females.
Like,
Yeah.
you really can't take somebody vaping seriously.
No, they're not
know?
cool.
They're not, speaking of cigarettes, you sent me a video the other day. It was pretty funny because they were making fun of trivia hosts and they called it washed up comedians was the best part. He wants to be a comedian. And me and Brad, we'll scoop up any trivia night that comes our way.
You're looking to hire a trivia host.
And I got one tonight. It's a 6-week run in a cigar bar called the Gentleman in Cranston, which is we have so much fun. I go home and I stink.
Oh yeah, that
I
smell. You
stink.
go. I did a show there last week, and yeah, your clothes. You have to throw them right in the washer or burn them in the fireplace.
Your car
'cause
smells.
Yeah. I got in my car
Your
the
wife
next day,
says,
and my
"Get the
car
hell
smelled.
out of
Yep.
here!" Oh yeah, you're gonna wash your hair like twice.
So if you're looking for a divorce, hang out at the cigar bar because it'll drive your wife crazy when you go home. How bad you smell. Did you ever smoke?
I never did.
Have you tried? I'm sure you tried.
I tried
a cigarette.
when I was probably around 12 years old. Me and my friends.
That's the
thought
best
it would be
time
cool.
to start. Yeah. Great influence on the kids, Mike.
So I was 12. We smoked a whole pack of cigarettes right through.
Oh.
My heart was pounding. I might never touch them again.
Oh, there you go. You ever tried a cigar?
I do like cigars. I
Okay.
do like cigars, even though I don't smoke them while I'm doing trivia because I'm working and I'm a professional.
Well, very professional. I don't have much else other than I was going to ask you if you had to dye your hair another color,
So
what would you dye it?
Believe it or not, a lot of people think I color my hair. You know
Yeah.
me because you know me, and I don't. And
Yeah.
and twice a week, somebody because I'm getting up there in age, they're thinking, hey, what color? What's color? It's my natural color. I haven't colored.
That must drive you crazy.
It just drives me nuts, and you could see my tough goatee is coming gray. So
Yeah.
another reason why people
They
think I'm
your
colored.
hair should be gray. Do they ever accuse you of having a wig? Have you been accused of a wig? That'd be fun.
Do you ever hear of a merkin? No,
A who?
a merkin.
No, I don't know what that is.
Sir, do you ever hear the term merkin? A merkin. You know what a merkin is?
Never heard of that. What's that?
No, it's actually back in the colonial days when people like they wore the ladies.
Oh,
wore,
like you mean like the weird wigs that have the curls? No.
Victorian days. A merkin was so if you had say you had crabs.
Are you assuming I don't?
And so they shaved, you shave it all off, but you wore a fake wig on your pubic area, and it was called a merkin. Look it up; it's an amazing tech.
I'm not looking that up ever.
it up.
I don't recommend ever Googling that.
Our friend over there just looked it up, and he's like,
As
"What?"
soon as you brought up pubic hair wig, he started packing up his stuff. He's getting the hell out of here.
Wait, don't leave because we're going to show you the Black Panther TikTok. Hold on one second. A merkin. Look it up. Look it up, people. It will shock you. Anyways.
Yeah, I'm not going to
But
ever
Brad,
look that
you're
up.
forgetting something that we've been wanting to talk about,
What's that?
and it's going to blow your mind right now. Well, our friend John mentioned something about your house. We used to go over, and it was your father's birthday.
Oh, so yeah, we grew up with John Allen, our biggest fan of the show. He on my dad's birthday posted a story about how when we were kids, because we lived in the same neighborhood when we were like, I don't know, 5, he thought my dad had an old school shaving kit. He had like one of those brushes and in like a jar.
Yeah, it looks like a pharmacist. Looks like a pharmacist bowl, but it's a brush in a cup.
Yeah, and John Allen confessed on Facebook a couple weeks ago that when we were kids, he thought that was soap and he'd wash his hands with it. So all these years later, my dad is now just discovering that my friend was sticking his filthy hands in his shaving kit to wash his
That's
hands.
awesome.
Good. Shout out to John Allen. Feel
Thank you
free,
very
John, to
much.
leave a detailed comment of that.
And how
story,
about a
'cause I'm
round of
butchering
applause
it.
for our studio
Audience of one. This studio audience of one.
You
The
learned
biggest-
what you learned today. What you learned today? You learned that there's a domesticated Black Panther out there, which we're going to share you
Yep.
TikToks with you right now. And Merkin is available for
He
you
would
in
like
case
to-
you ever have crabs.
He would like to forget about the wig, I'm sure.
Learned about how much I want to forget.
Yeah.
We'll be back here next week.
Yeah, well, we'll see. We'll see how if they let us back next week.
We're gonna send them a link to the Mike and Brad show so we can catch up
Yes.
on all our episodes.
Promote the Mike and Brad show. Share the Mike and Brad show. Do you have anything else to offer before
Thank
we
you to
wrap this
Brood
up?
Awakenings. We forgot to give them a shout out.
to Brood Awakenings
Brood
for
Awakenings
having
and
us.
Dave and Karen and the crew.
Thank you. We'll see you at the show this weekend.
Oh yeah, make sure you come.
Ba 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 ba. Mike will be arm wrestling Mark Anthony Lewis. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.